The second impeachment trial of former President Donald Trump begins tomorrow. Tonight, we're hearing from the former president's lawyers. CBS 4 Washington correspondent Alexandra Limon joins us now live to tell us what we can expect. Good evening, Alexandra.
Good evening. And Trump's lawyers did file a new brief today in which they argue that the article of impeachment against the president and the impeachment trial should all simply be dismissed because they argue it's unconstitutional. In a new brief, former President Trump's lawyers argue that because he's no longer in office, the impeachment trial is nothing but political theater that should be dismissed. That's something Republican Senator Lindsey Graham agrees with.
I'm ready to end the impeachment trial because I think it's blatantly unconstitutional.
It's expected senators will take a vote Tuesday to determine if the trial is constitutional.
Truth and accountability are essential.
Democrats likely have the votes to move forward with the trial.
Some people say, oh, let this go away. Oh, no. When something as horrible, as dastardly that happened on January 6th occurs, you cannot sweep it under the rug.
It's still unclear if the House managers will call for any other witnesses or simply rely on videos and old tweets to try to prove President Trump exhibited a pattern of behavior that incited an insurrection and attack on the U.S. Capitol. Now, we do expect at least a handful of Republican senators to vote with Democrats and allow the Senate impeachment trial to move forward. However, it's going to be much more difficult for Democrats to convince the 17 Republican senators they need in order to actually convict the former president.
Well, let's talk about that some more, Alexandra. What do we know about where those Republican senators stand tonight?
Well, a few of them have said that they completely think this entire thing is unconstitutional and therefore they won't be voting to convict the president. But we've also heard from some moderate Republicans like Pat Toomey and Susan Collins who say they are going to listen to the arguments that these impeachment managers make and to hear what they have to say and what proof they bring before they make their decision on whether to convict the former president.
Now, we have heard from the impeachment managers previously. What can you tell us about what strategy they may be using tomorrow?
Well, a lot of their strategy they've really tried to keep under wraps, but we know they tried to ask for the former President Trump to testify, and he will not do that. We don't know, however, if they plan to call for other witnesses or if they'll, again, simply use those videos, these speeches and tweets that the president, very openly shared, that they say, the impeachment managers say, kind of builds the case that he incited those protesters to show up at the Capitol.